In the dim, shadowy reaches of the past, there was a creature known as the Black Beast. Possessing powers beyond the comprehension of mankind, its only desire was the total annihilation of all humanity. Fighting a hopeless battle for survival, mankind was pushed to the brink of extinction. Just as all hope was about to be lost, 6 heroes appeared. They taught the last vestiges of humanity how to harness and control the mystic force of the universe known as magic, and humans fused it with science, creating what was to become known as Ars Magus. The humans who had the ability to use Ars Magus stood beside the 6 heroes and against the Black Beast. After a series of brutal battles, mankind finally stood victorious. Amongst the survivors, the war came to be known as the First War of Ars Magus, and the 6 brave warriors went down in history as the 6 heroes. After the defeat of the Black Beast, the people rejoiced, but peace did not last for long. From the remains of the Black Beast, a dark mist began to spread outward. In seemingly no time at all, the black mist covered virtually the entire planet. The mist, which became known as Seether, wreaked havoc on mankind as prolonged exposure had detrimental effects on the human body. In order to limit their exposure to this deadly poison, humans were forced to construct cities atop towering mountains. These cities became known as hierarchical cities. At the same time, the organization known as the Novus Orbis Librarium was formed for the purpose of managing and controlling the objects known as grimoires, which are required to use Ars Magus. Inevitably, the NOL began to leverage the power afforded to them by their control of these grimoires, and most of the world fell under their jurisdiction. With almost half the world's population decimated by the war against the Black Beast, the remaining survivors began to quickly rebuild their civilization under the watchful eyes of the Novus Orbis Librarian. Decades passed since the founding of the Novus Orbis Librarium. Within that time, Ars Magus had become an indispensable part of people's lives. However, the use of Ars Magus came with a price, the effects of which depended solely upon the person wielding it. The NOL, having gathered all those who showed a high aptitude for using Ars Magus, were soon accused by the general populace of propagating repression and inequality. Before long, a region under the NOL's control rose in rebellion. Calling themselves the Icaragoth Federation, they declared their independence from the NOL. This declaration of autonomy did not sit well with the Novus Orbis Librarian, and the Second War of Ars Magus began. For the first time in recorded history, humans used Ars Magus against each other as a weapon in battle. Overwhelmed, the Icaragoth Federation quickly fell. The victory served to reinforce the NOL's dominance and power over the world. The absolute destruction of the Icaragoth Federation served as a stark reminder to anyone who even contemplated defying the will of the Novus Orbis Librarium. A few years later, someone dared to defy the Novus Orvis Librarian and rose up to take on the organization whose political and military dominance were seemingly absolute. Even with an army set to rival any nation, the NOL was powerless to stop this one man from destroying the cauldrons that lie deep within NOL strongholds. The man in question was called Ragnar the Blood Edge. It was not long before the NOL declared Ragnar the Blood Edge as an SS-class criminal. With the largest bounty in recorded history put on his head, and wanted posters with his face plastered on every available surface, Ragnar had become the target of a wide variety of different organizations. The most significant of these were the Librarian's Guards, bounty hunters, known as Vigilantes, and Sector 7, who was known for its advanced scientific research and breakthroughs. In addition to these organizations were other individuals who either coveted Ragnar's power or sat silently in the shadows, watching. The world was slowly being transformed by the actions of one rebel,